Welcome to the Daily Vibecasting. The $38 billion robot race is officially on. AI is ditching the traditional GPU and setting up shop right on your desktop. And we have rare high-res footage of Tesla's secret robo-taxi strategy hitting public roads. Today, we are diving deep into who wins the intelligence war.
Is it the centralized hardware kingpins?
Or the decentralized developers, or, the regulators just scrambling to keep up with all this.
We need to look beneath the viral headlines today. Our whole mission is to analyze the foundational market structure being built right now by companies like NVIDIA, TSLA, and Palantir.
Right.
We're critically examining the second-order effects of this hyper-efficient AI deployment that's suddenly here, and frankly, questioning the hype cycle around autonomous vehicles.
So you need to know not just what's trending, but why it matters.
Exactly. Why it matters for market control and, the long-term future of this tech.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the biggest money story of the day, the robotics stack. We've got a must-read analysis, a real high-octane synthesis from @StockSavvyShay, and it's citing the latest Goldman Sachs report. They're projecting the global humanoid robot market to hit a staggering $38 billion by 2035.
Right.
That is a six-fold increase from their prior, much more conservative estimates. It feels like a real inflection point.
Okay, I agree with the six-fold increase part, but that $38 billion figure by 2035, I think that's still an anchor. It's pulling the whole forecast down.
You think it's low?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, investors replying to that post already see it as a massive underestimate. We've seen other way more bullish forecasts. Look at ARK Invest. They're calling for a $10 trillion AI market by 2030.
Wow.
So that suggests the definition of robotics is just rapidly expanding beyond, a physical humanoid in a warehouse.
Right. And what's crucial here is how the post immediately stratifies the market. It outlines the four key players, dominating what they call this emerging industrial stack. It paints a picture of a potential, tech cartel.
A cartel might be overstating it, but it's a clear map of value capture.
Okay.
But that map assumes those boundaries hold. And history shows competitors always try to integrate vertically or jump layers. But for now, the setup is clear. You've got NVIDIA supplying the intelligence layer.
The brains,
the silicon that processes the learning. It's currently the highest margin piece of the puzzle. Then you have Amazon dominating the logistics layer.
Right, with their warehouses as a testing ground.
Their real-world proving ground, exactly.
And crucially, you have Tesla building the physical embodiment layer. This is Optimus, the actual hardware that walks around.
And then you have Palantir coordinating the control layer, handling all the data orchestration and real-time management of entire fleets.
So this brings up a huge question about control, right? The bottleneck.
Yes. Does Tesla, with its physical Optimus bot, actually dominate the hardware side? Or is the core value captured entirely by intelligence and orchestration, by NVDA and PLTR?
Because the hardware could become a commodity.
It absolutely could. And the context attached to that original post reminds us there's serious U.S.-China competition in robotics hardware. If that happens, the premium valuation sticks with the data, the software, the intelligence.
So let's look at that second-order effect. Tesla can scale manufacturing for Optimus. That's their whole thing. But NVDA's expertise is scaling the training data to make the robot intelligent.
Which is an exponentially harder task.
Right.
Exactly. Scaling manufacturing is linear. Scaling training data and model sophistication is geometric. That difficulty is the ultimate bottleneck. It just confirms the old mantra. Control the data, control the decisions.
And right now, NVDA and Palantir are positioned as the gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers of that data flowing through the entire robotic enterprise.
That sets the stage perfectly because while NVDA is trying to centralize and profit from that high-end intelligence layer, the layer itself is fracturing. We're seeing this powerful, radical shift in AI infrastructure.
A shift that's threatening the very GPU chokehold NVDA currently has.
Yes. This is probably the biggest infrastructure story of the week, and it's all driven by decentralization. We've clustered two huge stories here, starting with the bombshell news from @SimplifyingAI about Microsoft. Microsoft just open-sourced bitnet.cpc. It's a 1-bit large language model inference framework. The implications here they're just enormous.
Okay, let's explain why 1-bit matters so much, because this is where the revolution is. Traditional AI models use, 32 bits or maybe 8 or 4 bits of information per
Yeah,
byte.
the mathematical values.
Exactly. BitNet compresses that down to just a single bit. So think of it this way. The compression is the difference between needing a $40,000 GPU farm to run a massive model.
And just needing your standard laptop CPU.
Just your laptop. The context details show just how efficient this is. You're looking at 6.17 times faster inference and a massive 82.2% less energy consumption.
On standard CPUs.
On standard CPUs.
That democratization angle is just so clear and immediate. The framework lets developers run 100 billion parameter models on a local CPU. A 2 billion parameter model can get 5 to 7 tokens per second on consumer hardware.
It completely shatters the GPU dependency that has defined the last 2 years of AI. It changes the economics for everyone.
And if we connect this to the developer workflow shift, you see why the community is just buzzing. We also saw the launch of ripogrep.com by @8mi.
Right, the AI-driven tool for searching GitHub repos.
It provides ultra-fast semantic search. But what is semantic search versus just, a keyword search?
Okay, so semantic search looks for meaning, for context, for intent, not just keywords. Traditional grep is looking for the exact phrase, React hooks. RipoGrep, using these efficient Cerebrus models, can understand your conversational query like, where's the function that handles user auth in this code base? And it finds the relevant code instantly.
And he showed it finding code in under 10 seconds.
Under 10 seconds. It's a game changer for discovery.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. While democratization is great for the individual dev, what's the cost to the centralized cloud providers, to AWS or Google?
Oh, that's the big question. If inference shifts entirely to the edge, to the local machine via BitNet,
their revenue stream for specialized AI compute could just shrink dramatically.
And don't forget the risk RepoGrep introduces. If it can instantly find proprietary techniques within public repos, doesn't that incentivize developers to move away from open source to protect their IP?
That raises a huge question about the whole open source ethos.
It does. Tools like RepoGrep raise the bar. They force everyone to be more careful about what they share or risk, rapid instant imitation. It's a double-edged sword. Amazing for learning, but maybe dangerous for sharing your secret sauce.
Okay, so we've established that local inference, BitNet, is the new plumbing for AI. Now let's move from infrastructure to application. Let's talk about the new AI agent and creator economy that is just exploding right now.
The agent future. It's where AI doesn't just answer questions but actually takes action for you. It's finally starting to materialize.
Absolutely. We saw that demo from at Berks, the Cloudflare product lead, teasing something really remarkable. He's been developing a personal AI agent that can control your Mac from anywhere.
You chat to it from your iPhone, and it executes commands on your local machine.
Yeah, using Cloudflare agents and Raycast. That little Suna tease got massive attention because it represents genuine remote control.
That level of remote personal AI control is, it's exhilarating, but it also requires enormous trust, granting total API-level control over your Mac to an agent on the edge.
Even from Cloudflare.
Right, even from Cloudflare, it raises immediate and serious privacy and security questions. It's the ultimate convenience, but it's also the ultimate vulnerability.
And while that high-trust agent future is being built in the background, the AI content arms race is front and center. It's all about volume. Look at Higgsfield Eye's viral flash sale for creators. They're offering 85% off unlimited access to generative models like Nano Banana Pro for images and Kling 2.6 for video.
And the engagement mechanic alone was brilliant. Retweet and reply for 215 credits.
Right.
It just drove viral traffic.
This is the low barrier to entry economy, just flooding the market with cheap, unlimited AI content.
Right, lowers the barrier to zero. Anyone can be a creator. But let's contrast that accessibility with the high-end proprietary quality models. We also saw Elon Musk's post showcasing that surreal fashion video
generated with Grok Imagine,
empowered by their proprietary Aura model.
That video was truly stunning. Ethereal, theme-shifting outfits. Does that mean the Higgsfield models, even with unlimited access, are basically just garbage compared to Aurora-level quality?
I think the gap is defined not just by output quality, but by consistency and complexity. Grok Imagine's output had cinematic quality, thematic coherence, that the cheap, fast models just can't replicate yet.
So the market's splitting.
It's bifurcating. The companies with the best foundational models, like Grok and EK.AI, will control the quality and the definition of good AI art. That's the high end. But the volume, the vast majority of social media content, that's going to be controlled by the cheap, unlimited access tools.
A tension between quality scarcity and volume saturation.
Exactly. The classic market dynamic, premium versus mass market, just playing out in real time.
Okay, let's shift gears now to autonomy and spatial computing. Two fields that feel like they just crossed the science fiction threshold this week.
For sure. And these two segments give us a necessary glimpse into how we'll interact with the physical and digital world very soon, and the risks that come with that acceleration.
Let's start with the cybercab. At Sawyer Merritt shared this truly fascinating footage. Two Tesla cybercabs driving in tandem on wet nighttime public roads, shot in 4K 120 fps.
And what stood out was the apparent unsupervised FSD testing. This is just months after the vehicle's unveiling.
So what's the strategy here?
Well, the community discussion highlighted the crucial twin strategy they're using for accelerated learning.
A twin strategy.
Yeah, they're running two vehicles. The lead car makes a decision, say, merging into traffic, and the trailing vehicle, the shadow driver, is there to monitor the result against the lead car's prediction.
It's accelerated real-world error correction.
Without human intervention. And the sheer aggression of the testing schedule contrasts so sharply with the broader regulatory environment, especially with the ongoing NHTSA probes into autonomy claims.
The risk profile is high, but they are clearly racing to hit those 2026 robotaxi fleet goals.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of hitting ambitious goals, let's pivot from autonomy on the roads to spatial immersion in your living room. At Justin Rianio highlighted the debut of live immersive NBA games on the Apple Vision Pro.
This is the big push for a killer app to justify that high price point.
So starting January 9th, you can watch the Lakers versus Bucks via Spectrum Front Row.
And it's a massive leap in user experience. 7 dynamic viewing angles courtside, scores table-walled, and high-fidelity 150 Mbps spatial video.
It's the ultimate visual spectacle people have been waiting for. But is it enough?
Here's the adoption hurdle. The technology is incredible. It's built on Apple's 2020 NextVR acquisition, so this is long-term strategy. But the experience is still highly isolated.
You're alone in your living room.
Is sitting in your living room with a headset on, even with 7 perfect angles, really better than watching the game with friends? Apple needs to overcome that antisocial barrier. Plus, the high price is still a massive barrier, and the initial broadcast is only free for Lakers market viewers. That limits its initial impact dramatically. It's a premium niche offering right now, not a revolution.
Okay, let's wrap this daily vibe casting with a quick global check. A rapid synthesis of 4 very different but trending posts that give us a vital sense of the current digital culture.
We've got nostalgia, high physics, political philosophy, and emerging market finance. A true, weird, and wonderful cross-section of X.
Starting with nostalgia, at Levelcio built an HTTP proxy that enables pre-2013 browsers to surf the modern web.
The ones that fail, the modern HTTPS handshake.
Exactly. He built it, in his words, out of sadness for old, cute retro computers.
That's just a beautiful, fun, inclusive project.
Yeah.
Then moving to the purely aesthetic and scientific, we have that fascinating deep dive on Cherenkov radiation.
The intense, almost hypnotic blue glow you see in nuclear reactor pools.
Right.
The post from @Explore Cosmos vividly illustrated this. The blue light is caused by charged particles exceeding the speed of light in water.
Not in a vacuum. A key distinction.
A very key distinction. And it's wild to think that this fundamental physics phenomenon is also being detected by observatories like IceCube in Antarctica. It's a classic example of basic science having cosmic application.
And then we shift completely. We saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi's viral post quoting the ancient wisdom of Chanakya Niti.
Shloka 16.1.
All beings are pleased by sweet words. Thus, speak them always. What poverty lies in speech. It's just a fascinating blend of modern digital platforms with ancient ethical philosophy.
And finally, let's add the crypto signal. Nigeria's SEC licensed exchange at Get Busha launching Busha 3.0.
Rebranding as the money app for the next billion.
So what does this eclectic collection signal?
This is the synthesis moment. It tells us that while the frontier moves insanely fast, AI, robots, spatial computing, there's a parallel, persistent, and vital demand for digital inclusion and access.
Right.
Whether it's giving a 20-year-old browser access to modern Google or giving emerging markets access to basic financial tools on a regulated platform like Busha 3.0. The mandate for universal digital access is still a major cultural and economic undercurrent.
So to recap our entire dive, we've seen the market structure of the $38 billion robot race solidify, with NVDA controlling that intelligence bottleneck.
We watched AI inference democratize right onto your CPU thanks to Microsoft's BitNet.
And we observed the tension between autonomous ambition on public roads and the regulatory reality.
Based on that stunning Tesla cybercab footage from @Sawyer Merritt and the historical context of NHTSA involvement, I'm going to predict an immediate increase in public or regulatory scrutiny.
Around unsupervised FSD testing.
especially in major urban areas. The companies pushing autonomy will likely be forced to provide more transparency about their twin strategy and their reinforcement learning methods, and probably sooner rather than later.
A demand for transparency, a good and necessary note to end on. And it leaves us with this final provocative thought for you to chew on. If we can run powerful 100 billion parameter models on a local CPU using one-bit frameworks like BitNet, can local CPU-based AI truly demonopolize knowledge?
Or will the quality and the cutting-edge capability of the one-bit model always lag behind the centralized, massive cloud giants controlling those Aurora-level foundational models?
Think about that tension between scale and accessibility. Thank you for joining the deep dive.
We'll catch you tomorrow.